Can you picture this? I, Ludvig von Korff, am forced to lead a small group of peasants to fight bandits on lands that should rightfully be mine. Unbelievable. We are nearing the bandits' camp. The bandits are near! The bandits are near! Fire! Our shield wall will hold! Recharge! Hold them off! Focus on defense! Keep yourselves alive! Archers! Careful with your aim! Alright! Archers need to rotate! Rotate, archers! Rotate! You need to be round the side. Flank them! Fire at them from the rear! They run! They run! Victory is ours! Go! Raid their camp! And finish them off! We'll need to bury these bodies. We have retrieved from their camp the goods they had stolen from us. And the gold they had stolen from the traveling merchants. We have lost one brave peasant today. The rest of them will be buried just over there. They don't deserve to be buried in our church. Now, where are my warriors? Oh, there they are, returning home victorious, having only lost one of their own. Congratulations, men. Congratulations. You may now return to your usual occupations. I am proud of you all. With the gold recovered from the bandits, we were able to purchase 2 sheep and 3 more chickens. We were also able to purchase more tools, so the village will be able to make do with a lot more resources. Hopefully this will help us get through winter reasonably well. We only have 8 months food stored up, and our mushrooms did not yield much this year. Fish has been barely letting us scrape by, so we definitely need more food sources. Hopefully, these sheep will lead to us having a proper herd and a proper means to feed ourselves. We will be mourning the man that we have lost during that little skirmish. But thankfully, the rest of our village will live longer thanks to his sacrifice. Unfortunately for us, another bandit camp has appeared further away from us, but in the same region. We will have to deal with it in time. A new year begins, and a lot of changes are happening in our little village. We are building up the central area. Now there's houses everywhere. We've left this little space open. I'm not too sure what I'll do with it yet. Maybe put a well there, another one next to this one, or maybe something else. We'll see. We are expanding, adding another saw pit next to the first one we've got, so we can produce more planks. We definitely need more of those. And over here, we unfortunately haven't been able to start up on our orchards. Our orchards definitely need some working on, especially since they're going to take a lot of time to grow. But at least we have our cabbage and carrots set up. But hey, as you can see, we're not growing anything. It has snowed a lot this winter. But everybody's hard at work and a lot of things are happening. A lot of money's coming in and things are, well, hopefully gonna work out nicely. Here, we're gonna have this massive pear orchard. And hopefully it'll look really nice too. In other news, I have designated the location of my home. Here we will have my castle be built up and established. My first little castle will be built up in this area. And yes, I'm hoping to have a cozy home set up here. If we are able to, well, we've already brought some logs. Things are moving. Our little village is close enough and far enough that I am relatively safe from angry peasants or drunkards. You could make your pick. And I'm close enough to the forest that things might be interesting, and the river next door might prove useful. Who knows? Maybe slowing down potential enemies. This river here is the one I'm talking about. So yes, hopefully should be fine. As well as, well, look at that. There's a bit of a hill over here, so if they run up the hill with ramparts set up, my archers should be able to make good use of this line of sight and essentially shoot down as many as possible before they reach us. That is the plan, at least. We finally had enough money to purchase our piers! And so this beautiful place is about to become a pier farm. I've also ordered the upgrade of this house. Since they're going to be taking care of our beautiful piers, they might as well have a nice house. And hopefully these little trees... Can't even see them. Perhaps we will start seeing them blossom when spring finally comes around. Night's falling, but hey, my house is almost done. Very simple. Very rudimentary to start off, but things will only expand from here. These people really need to get home and get warm. The place is definitely very cold at the moment. Winter is finally coming to an end. Good thing too, because we only have 2 months of food left. So things were going to get quite dicey. And yes, we have made it through winter, barely. And we have our brand new stone well ready to go to supply our families with fresh water. We urgently need to stock up on food, as we barely have enough to last us another month after this one. Luckily, mushrooms are beginning to grow again and we can go get them. But this is not the end. Raiders! Raiders are here! We need to assemble! There you have it. My house is finally finished. I can finally sleep in a warm bed with my own little servants, away from the rest of the peasants. Look, there's nothing wrong with sleeping with peasants. Except for the smell. The smell is quite bad. Now, my home, and in other news, I have heard that I did not have to deal with the raiders. They stopped by the region where Ott has laid claim, and so he had to deal with them. Thankfully, he managed to deal with them, and I do not have to. There we go. We do not need to mobilize the militia anymore. In other news, I've heard that Ott has also laid claim to the region of Naswise, where a small deposit of iron and stone can be found. You can also find a couple berries, but most importantly, it has a lot of fish, just like for our pond, and another enormous clay deposit. If Ott is able to solidify his claim and establish himself in that region, he will be able to corner the market when it comes to anything that is made from or anything that would require clay. You need clay, you go to Ott. You need something made out of clay, you go to Ott. This is not a very good thing, but unfortunately, we are not in a position to be able to threaten his claim and to fight back. Unfortunately for us, Ott is more powerful right now, and it's a region that is quite far for us to march to. there's a lot of issues with this. We need to strengthen our growth, and we are in a situation where food is really low. So we can't afford to do anything stupid right now, or to do anything warlike right now. In other news, we now have 6 sheep. Remember, we only purchased 4, and we now have 2 lambs ready to go. Beautiful. Unfortunately for us, our neighbor is also trying to claim influence on the region next door by eliminating the local bandits. So now, I am quickly gathering all the soldiers that we have on hand to fight off the bandits and claim the prize for ourselves. Hopefully, this goes well. Here they come. They leave the woods to come and meet us. Our archers are able to send a couple volleys onto them. It looks like they are trying to aim for my retinue. But my militia, my spear militia is in front. There we go. Now, my archers will rotate around them and shoot them from the rear. They've already lost 1. If our spear militia holds properly, things will go well. Our archers are now behind them. They may take aim. An arrow in the back definitely hurts. Yes, and they break, and they flee. Flee, flee, you fools. Once again, a beautiful victory on our end. Right, so we have an apiary, helping with the pollination of our land, producing some honey and wax for us, which is going to be beautiful with our little bees. Ooh, the weather is really not great this evening. And we are building up, well, we've added another spot for some pigs here, we have more chicken over here, and we added a hitching post closer to our woodcutting industry. I am also going to lay claim to the region of Frostcheck. This land is highly rich in iron. Thanks to it, we will be able to build armor and weapons, and this will facilitate my takeover of my own land, my fight to reacquire what was rightfully mine, what should have been mine. Hard to believe that under all of this is such a large deposit. Large iron deposit. You might be wondering what this is, and to make it very simple, it is a new tavern. Yay! The only issue is we have no means to acquire alcohol, or beer, or anything of that sort. So it's here when we do. It's just a safety precaution, a future investment. We're just building it in advance for when you have the funds and the means to acquire beer. And some good news, look at that! Our pear trees are growing. Look at all those pear trees. Nice little orchard to sit up here. Excellent. And on this side, our apple trees are growing. Look at them, look at them. In other news, we set up a weaver's workshop. We do have 8 sheep now, or 4 sheep and 4 lamb. But thanks to those, we'll be able to make yarn, and with yarn, we'll make clothes for our people. There we go. Gathering a nice cabbage for the market. Very nice. We definitely need to stock up more on this food. But we're doing alright. Nothing to worry about. Another day in paradise. And now the small tavern is complete. Here we go. This beautiful little open space for villagers to gather and have a moment of respite. Good times. We just need to find the beer. Here we go. We've made We've made a couple more changes around. Here we are setting up a new pear orchard right by the pond. Massive household right here. And we are now making really decent money selling our bows and shields. So thanks to those, the region is really growing its wealth. Hopefully we can sell those pears when they finally grow, but it'll take them about 4 years to grow. 3 years for our apples, so things might take a little while. Oh lord, due to a mistake in communication on my part, the butchers killed some of our sheep. God damn it, we needed that herd to be really bigger. Well, it'll take a bit longer now, but hopefully it can grow. It can grow back. Let's try and get that herd to grow back as big as we can. God damn it. In other news, we have our first field. We will be only growing rye here because nothing really grows on this land, unfortunately for us. Our land is not very fertile, so we will just grow what grows. So much has been going on, so much so that I actually forgot to mention we have a tailor now. We produce clothes using the wool that's turned into yarn and then used for our clothes. Here's what's going on so far. We are expanding our tavern. I know, we still haven't used it, but I thought a large tavern is better. The village is large. We don't have the beer, but we can import the beer, which is what we're about to start doing, even though it's going to be quite expensive. Or maybe not. Maybe we will import the beer later, once I've expanded to the next region. In order for me to expand to the next region, what do we need? We need money. So I've begun taxing the people. They are not too happy about this, but I am only taking 20% of what the village is making. I know, it's massive, maybe. But we need money, and I need that money fast so I can expand. We are rebuilding our little sheep population, and we have expanded with a second pasture, and we also have our field growing our little rye over here, and we are going to set up a windmill. I had completely forgotten about that. We need a windmill so that we can run, well, so that we can grind down the rye grain and produce flour so that we can make our bread. So the only location suitable for this windmill is here, because you need some sort of elevation so that the wind may grind down the grain without issue. It seems that Ott is also laying claim to the region of Hadderwand. I never thought a village elder could expand so quickly in the region. He's already captured 2 areas, and now he's about to get a 3rd. The 2 other miscreants are only holding 1 piece of land each, barely making any moves, and they're a baron and a cardinal, if I'm not mistaken. Seawalt and Balthazar are not making any waves. Meanwhile, Ott is taking all of the good land for himself. He's about to get another monopoly set up for him. He's about to get stone. And unfortunately for me, I don't believe that I can contest him yet. I could try, but with the funds I currently have, I probably will not have access to many mercenaries if I need help. Right, through the clever use of some cheap mercenaries, I seem to have been able to convince everyone that the region of Hadderwand is mine, and that Ott has no claim on it, without even really having to fight them. Ott's troops were disorganized and arrived late to the battlefield, while the original brigands that he had hired chose to avoid my troops and flee. Thus, the region is now my property, Yes. So this is that, but that means that we should probably now turn to expand, maybe in Seawald's region instead of Ott's region first, so that we can connect our lands and acquire fertile lands in the process. We also, well, of course, we will need more funds. But hey, these will come in time, I am sure. Otherwise, here's our windmill. Our finished windmill. Beautiful. Beautiful.